Two sheriffs shot point blank execution style in California. Disturbing new video shows a 31-year-old deputy tending to her partner, who's 24 years old, as she hides them both from behind a column after a man fires a gun at the two LA County Sheriff deputies sitting in their patrol cruiser Saturday night in Compton. Reward money now $175,000. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti on Sunday condemned protesters for reportedly yelling death to police outside the hospital where two Los Angeles County Sheriff Police Department deputies are being treated and in critical condition after being shot. Have you seen the video, by the way?
Yeah.
Kai, have you seen the video? If you got the video, for people, if they've not seen it, this is the visual, okay, just so you know. So they're in their car. This person that's walking up, originally, they had no plans of doing anything. He's about to walk by. Then all of a sudden, he pulls out his gun and he starts shooting. Okay, in the 24.
Are the windows open or no?
I don't
from
think
this
so.
angle, it looks like it's open, but it may not be open. The cop that the person shot at got a 26-year-old kid. She's 24 years old. She's hospitalized, not in good conditions. Trump said if either one of them dies, if either one of these cops dies, he says this person's going to be getting the death penalty. And for that to be taking place.
Yeah.
Then the local sheriff in L.A. came out and said, hey, Lebron, since lives really matter to you, why don't you match the $175,000 of donation that we got to Lebron? This was just said last night. So what are your thoughts? You're in L.A. right now. What are your thoughts about this?
It's so disturbing on multiple levels. This is sick. It's unbelievable. It's very unsettling. But I think almost as bad as the fact that these protesters get into the hospital. Here's a quote. According to the sheriff's department, the protesters were blocking the entrance and exit of the hospital emergency room. And one of them was yelling, "We hope they die." I mean, here's the scary thing for me. This is so organized, right? For protesters to be on the spot, to know where the hospital is, to get down there, to be in front of the hospital, to have these types of chants. There's a big thing brewing here that's quite scary. LeBron's probably not going to do anything. I doubt if he's going to match that. He probably would have done it right away. Did you hear that the Black Lives Matters blocked the Lakers bus yesterday? And there was something going on in Florida as well. So LeBron seems to be in the crosshairs on both sides trying to get his attention. But look, I hope there's not much else to say. Trump even took heat for saying that. How can that be a controversial statement to say that these guys need to be brought to justice immediately and have a death penalty, attached to the sentence? But
you know what's my biggest challenge with LeBron? By the way, I've been in U.S. since November 28, 1990. What's special about November 20, 1990 is that's the year where the finals were Lakers against the Bulls. So I watched Michael make that shot over Sam Perkins where he goes up and he switches for no reason and comes up left-handed saying Sam Perkins was trying to block my shot. As if Sam Perkins with a 6-inch vertical leap can block Michael's shot, right?
Who was high most of the time, by the way. Sam Perkins. You ever see Sam Perkins play? That guy is.
He's had a good left-handed shot, by the way. The three-pointer, he used to hit him.
Sam Perkins baller.
But I've been a Laker fan for 29, 30 years now. It's the first year I'm not rooting for the Lakers. You know why? Here's why. To me, Michael, if there was a political issue, he would say, I'm giving $1 million to a black university or black college, and I'm giving $1 million to a charity of a police department or sheriff. And he would talk about how the cops protected him so well throughout his career, right? There's nothing that's unifying about LeBron James. The only thing unifying about LeBron James is anybody that agrees with him. That's it. You have to be a BLM supporter for him to unify. Mm-hmm. If you're not, you won't hear anything from him. Big difference when a guy that's the face of the league is treating the politics that where it's just purely one-sided. Yeah. And no, if he says it's not my responsibility, it's not on me, you're the face of the league. You call yourself the king. The king dictates what direction the NBA goes.
100%.
And everything good and bad that's going on with today's NBA is because of the king, because you are the king. So, I would love for him to come out. I'd love to be wrong. Yeah. But I highly doubt he's going to come out and support the situation.
Michael had the great quote. He goes, Republicans buy shoes too. So he, had business interests at the forefront of most everything he did as well. Michael was very savvy, very smart. That's why he stayed neutral. But so does LeBron. LeBron's media company is doing very, very well. I mean, he's
Spring Hill.
Yeah,
they're going to kill it, by the way, just so you know.
Yes, they've come to Hollywood and they've been very, very successful. So you would think somebody like that would maybe want to straddle the line a little bit more. Because personally, I look at LeBron as a social activist that also plays basketball.
Not the other way around.
No,
I totally agree with
look
you.
at his basketball as being secondary.
I agree with you.
And it's so sad because they're going to walk to the finals probably, and they'll probably win it all. I mean, the thing that's going to – I don't want to get all sports on you, but, I mean, their free throw shooting's horrendous, right? So that could cost them down the road. But he has a chance to seize this mantle of being the only guy to win 3 championships with 3 different teams and lead them all the way, and he's going to blow it because he's offending more people than he's generating excitement from.
But the thing I will give him credit for, I don't think he really cares.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I don't think he
knows
really
what
cares.
he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's dropping F-bombs on social media, the whole thing.
Not that he knows what he's doing. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I think he knows who he wants to be, and he could care less if he's losing half the audience or not.
Hey, Pat, one more
thing. Do you have a problem with that, though?
I don't have a
If you know who you are and you know what you want to be and you stand for something, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, for me, I get it. I like people that are willing to, like, for example, do you remember when the Jussie Smollett thing that took place?
Jussie Smollett, I
Jussie
remember
Smollett,
him, yeah.
right? Do you remember when that took place?
Of course.
Do you remember the first time they asked Trump about it, what Trump said?
No.
Do you remember what Trump said?
To the tune that he didn't believe it or something like that?
No, not at all.
Oh, he believed it at first.
No,
We're going to find
that's
these
right.
people.
He
Yeah.
said,
No.
we got to catch him.
Yeah.
This is not fair. That we got to, justice needs to be served. He defended Jussie Smollett.
Yeah.
And there's no way in the world he would support Jussie Smollett right after finding out the story. His immediate reaction is to do what? Support. He's not like that. So no matter how much people say that Trump is divisive, Trump is not as divisive as LeBron is divisive.
Hey, I'll say one more thing. I think this NBA bubble is putting these guys in a very weird environment. You listen to Doc Rivers' comments. I mean, Doc, stick to basketball right now. No one really is looking for you to become a political activist, and that's all he seems to be doing as well now. But I think you're in a hotel room. Maybe your wife's there, but not your kids, some of your family.
Yeah.
Your normal routine is out the window. You have 18 to 20 hours of downtime a day. All you have is your phone and social media. I think that's adding a little fuel to it, and it's going to go another month, too, if they make the finals.
Are you telling these NBA players they should shut up and dribble?
I'm not saying that at all. I think
that what's going on
I'm saying
here?
the bubble is affecting them, and I think they're having more time to not be around normal society where you might have a little bit more open mind about things.
So here's
Well, everyone's dealing with some sort of COVID bubble right now. They're literally dealing with the bubble, but I think everything is so amplified right now. And I mean, my biggest problem, like just for me, okay, so if you don't find what happened to the police officers fucking disgusting, then you're on the wrong side of the equation here, ladies and gentlemen. Like, that is disgusting. So the people that, for whatever reason, support that, you're hurting your cause here, gentlemen, or ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let's see if LeBron's tweeted about it. I haven't even checked. I mean, if he has tweeted about it and saying something, I hope.
Especially it's his town. It's his city.
Nope, not one tweet. Not one tweet about it.
He should.
Not one tweet about it.
So the biggest problem, that I'm just going to say one thing. The problem these days is everything is so polarized. It's this or that. You're BLM or you're Black Lives Matter or you're Blue Lives Matter. You're red or you're blue. You're MAGA or you're BLM. Why can't we all just be a little bit of just Americans?
Look, a few comments here to respond for both of you guys, what you said. One, I don't mind athletes being sharing their opinions if it's sincere. Like, for example, Cap, he knelt and he says, here's what this is. Well, there was a lot of, hypocrisy behind his movement, that what he did. Mom's, white, he's half white, and then he wears the pig socks while he's playing in Miami. I mean, look, now you're playing with fire. You're talking about people that escaped Castro. So, but Ali, when Ali did it, Ali also got along with everybody on both sides. Ali was still likable when him and, they were going at it with a couple different people. He was actually, you would be his biggest enemy when they would do interviews. He would always stand up. But at the same time, he was partying with everybody. Ali was good with everybody. Ali wasn't just one-sided guy when you read the stories about it. If you go to his museum in Kentucky, Louisville, if you've never been, highly recommended. We're doing an event there, actually. Sapalas and Vargas's and Delvais and Kahindi and, am I missing? Mason, they're doing an event there in January, which I'm looking forward to going to because I love the Ali Museum. This is what I will say about this part here. This whole message is not about LeBron. It's not about Doc Rivers. It's about these two sheriffs. My concern is the following. Here's my biggest concern. Yesterday, we're having a meeting here, okay? And one of my sales reps asked me a question and says, what do you say when the person says this, okay? And I said, what do you mean? He said, what do you say if the person says this? And they say, if you don't do this, I won't do this. I said, the reason why this person is saying this is because they feel comfortable being able to say that to you. What do I mean by that? you know how you sit with somebody and somebody says, shut up, you know, and you don't like it. You know how people say, shut up. You know, it's not like a bad thing to say. They just say, shut up. I had a girl I worked with. We're good till today. She's one of the best right now what we do with the business. She had a tendency of saying this very quickly to everybody. And so one day she said it to me. I said, can I whisper something to you, just you and I? She said, yes. I said, have I ever told you to shut up? She said, never. I said, please don't say it to me either. I don't like the terminology shut up. Just don't say it to me. She says, I'm so sorry. I said, no, you don't have to apologize. It's very normal. I actually don't think you have anything negative to say about it. But moving forward, I'm not going to say shut up. You don't need to say shut up. Let's have that mutual respect for one another. She said, okay. So the next time, you know, we're saying something, she's like, oh, shut up. She's like, I'm so sorry. I said, no, just the fact that you caught yourself, guess what? I respect the fact that you respected me. Let me tell you what's going on here, what the bigger concern is. People are thinking it's okay to shoot cops right now. And that's a byproduct of politics. People in California think it's okay to shoot cops right now. So as much as Garcetti is coming out and saying this stuff, you are indirectly making people think that they are doing something good to go after cops because it's a way of getting their 15 seconds of fame, and they're going to be talked about, and oh my gosh, BLM's going to say, oh, phenomenal, let's go defund the police, all this other stuff. You have to be very careful what you recognize for. If you tell your kid, great job. There's this book that was on parenting. He said, the author of this book says, whatever you recognize your kids for and give attention for, they're going to keep doing it. Meaning, if the kid is sick, you only hug your kids and tell them you love them when they're sick, they're going to keep telling you they're sick. You got to hug and kiss your kids when they're doing okay. You got to do good to them when nothing's going on. But if you recognize them and you laugh at them saying a stupid joke to somebody and you think it's funny using bad words, they're going to keep doing it because it's a form of recognition. California is indirectly promoting these types of behavior. And it starts with Newsom and it starts with Garcetti, and all that stuff needs to be stopped. By the way, shout out to Newsom, because Newsom did send a tweet out. And one of the things I like about what Newsom did the last 24 hours, you guys know how I am about Newsom. If he does stuff, I'll call him up, but I got to give him respect as well. And I know some of the people that are watching this saying, Pat, I cannot believe you're going to say this about Newsom. Let me tell you what at least he did. And whether you say it's good or not, here's what he did do yesterday. He got up there and he says, a 31-year-old mother and a 24-year-old are fighting for their lives because of this cowardly, horrific act. The perpetrator must be quickly brought to justice, praying for a full recovery for the deputies. And then she has the name, and his wife and him are praying and are keeping their loved ones in their thoughts. Listen, and he did that immediately. Respect.
Good, respect.
Good for you. No, I'm giving Newsom
He's
respect.
the governor. He should, of course.
Yes, he should.
I know you're giving him respect.
But what I'm saying is, and then on top of that, let me tell you what he did yesterday. The fires are going on in California.
Yeah.
Trump flies in to meet with them. He doesn't say, pulling off a publicity stunt, I will never meet with him if he comes in. He says, no, let's sit down. Newsom sat right here while Trump sat right here, and Trump was being briefed on what's going on in California, and Trump was listening to everybody, and Newsom's sitting here. Now, think about how uncomfortable he is. His ex-wife is dating his son. Let me say this one more time.
Yeah.
Governor Newsom's ex-wife is dating his son, and he still has the audacity to sit right next to Trump. I know what his positions are. I know where he's at with this, but I respect the fact that he's willing to do this. You cannot, by the way, I hope he's realizing, you cannot go out there and say, you cannot show up to church, oh, but you can go out there and protest. You cannot do that. This hypocrisy needs to stop at the top, because these guys are thinking it's okay. And I hope this is the last shooting towards sheriffs and cops. But unfortunately, if I'm a betting man in Vegas, I'm telling you, I don't think it's the last time this is going to happen. Especially not in the next 2 months.